and welcome to episode 28 of Soft Signal. My name is Varun. I'm joined as always by Aditya. And in today's episode, we are finally starting to look at the T20 World Cup, which is just a couple of weeks away. Um, and we thought we'd do something different, but in line with what we did with the England series, where we look at the past first and then preview the present tournament. So, in today's episode, we're going to start talking about our top five or six memories that India have had through the tournament. But before that, I just wanted to get your opinion on the T20 World Cup in general, because it came about when we were just about adults. So, we had seen a lot of cricket already. So, what was your initial reaction to T20 cricket and to the World Cup when it came about?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun. This was at the time around 2007 where, in general, people thought T20 cricket was not to be taken seriously.
Yeah,
So the 2007 World Cup was sort of held against that backdrop. But that being said, it was so much fun to watch because it was fast paced. For the first time, a cricket match finished in 3 hours or 4 hours, and it was just so new, right? The whole format was new. The way the players approached it was new. So from being something that was not supposed to be serious cricket, it actually ended up being something that requires a lot of strategy and sort of tactical nuance in order to win. So in 2007, it was fun. Of course, it was fast paced. It was lively, and it was
yeah.
new. So that is something that got me and a lot of people who we speak. I'm sure is the case with you as well. A lot of us got hooked to it because of that, and then of course it gave rise to the IPL. But we
Yeah.
won't talk about the IPL because this year it's not been fun. So that being said, I'm looking forward to the exciting part of the T20, T20 roster this year, which is the T20 World Cup that's coming up in a few days.
Yeah, same for me. Like it was different, but the whole vibe was the night matches at night mostly when we were because we were in India at that time, and just yeah, the whole vibe was amazing. It was new, and we didn't even take it seriously. I think we didn't send the top three, like Sachin, Ganguly, and Dravid missed the tournament, and they were saying that because it's a young man's game and all. I think that was all code word for it's not a serious form of cricket, so let's just send these younger players. But anyway, uh, looking forward to this year's edition as well. So let's start with some of our memories from like the best memories that we've had from India's performances at the T20 World Cup. And the first one will be Suresh Raina's century. So this might not come naturally when you think of India's best cricketing moments, but I think it was a pivotal moment because it was the first T20 international century by an Indian. We were still very new to T20 cricket then, and it was in 2010 against South Africa in the group game. And even though we didn't perform well, we won that game, but we didn't perform well in the Super Eights, I think they used to call it, and we didn't qualify for the semis. But that was still, I think, definitely the standout performance of that World Cup for us, and in general up to that stage.
Yeah, it was one of the standout performances even for Raina personally.
Yeah,
Uh, I think by then he had established himself as a key T20 player for India, thanks to his performances in the IPL for CSK. And this was the time when he used to occupy the number three spot as well in T20 cricket for India, just like he did for CSK. So yeah, it was particularly memorable because it was the first T20 century by an Indian, and I think when you think back at that stage in 2000 and in 2010, I think Raina was India's best T20 player. So a very well deserved century, I think, for Raina, and uh, it was good that he played at number three for some time because he never really got too many opportunities to bat and score a lot of runs at number six, which is the position he eventually ended up being in.
Yeah, and the 75, I'm just checking the scoreboard, 75 runs in the last 5 overs. And that was like, now it might seem like something which is not easy. It's still not easy, but it's not that unimaginable. But in 2010 to get 75 from 5 overs is just crazy, right? And we got to 186. It was, yeah, I agree. Like, it was his golden period. Actually, he had won the IPL with CSK. He would be an important member of the India's ODI World Cup winning team as well the next year. And then he had, I think, later that year he would make his Test debut also. Um, in a way, it's almost sad that he had so much potential and he didn't. Uh, I mean, he's had a really good career, but maybe could have been destined for better things.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, so that's memory numbers 5 or 6. We'll decide because we haven't decided how many we want to cover yet. But the next one on the list is the India versus Bangladesh T20 World Cup match in 2016. Now, again, this is not so much because of it being a great match, but because it was just comedy. India didn't play well in that tournament at all, honestly. It was in Bangalore. They scored, I think, 140 something. And Bangladesh actually started really well. They had a few hiccups, but they were going really well. And then I'm going to set the scene for the last over. I think they needed 10 of 6. First ball, it was a dot ball, 10 of 5. Next two balls go for fours. So it becomes 2 of 3. And Mushfiqur Rahim, when he hits that 4 to make it 2 of 3, he's celebrating before the ball has even gone to the boundary. And then I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, Mushfiqur Rahim is a legend. I mean, uh, honestly, it's it's really it was really strange that he started celebrating before, like you mentioned, before the ball hitting the getting to the boundary, but even more importantly, before the match finished.
Yeah.
Right. So his celebration was taking into assumption that Bangladesh has won that match, which was absolutely the opposite of what happened, because the next ball he skies a full toss into the air, gets out. I think the batsman who came in next also got out. And then, of course, when they needed 2 runs in one ball, uh, Dhoni ended up running the non-striker out. So in the end, Bangladesh lost that
Lost.
match from a position where they should have won it.
Or at
So
least taken it to a super over. Like,
yeah, exactly. I mean, and they couldn't even take it to a super over when they needed 1 run of 3 balls
yeah.
to effectively make it a super over. So it's really the stupidity of Mushfiqur Rahim. And he has done stupid things on the field, right? Even before and after that. And in general, it shows how immature Bangladesh cricket still continues to be. I mean, let's face it, right? That
Yeah.
was 16 years. I mean, at the time in 2016, they had completed 16 years as a test playing nation. Yet there was tons of immaturity amongst all their players. Even now, 21 years, so 5 years after that, but 21 years into being a test playing nation, they are still quite an immature side because they do stupid things on the field. They do a lot of stupid things in their domestic matches as well. If you happen to see some of the videos on YouTube, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird, and Bangladesh really should not have lost that match. But who cares? India won in the end. We were happy, and and it really made Mushfiqur Rahim look quite stupid.
Yeah. Unbelievable match. Like, and you're right. I don't think they know how to handle success yet, because even in that Nidahas trophy in Sri
Yes,
Lanka, when they beat Sri Lanka, they celebrated like it was it was immature. You think like a club team or like a school team might celebrate like that, not an international cricket team. And but yeah, it was just hilarious. I keep watching that from time to time. Just those last 3 balls or that last over actually,
yeah,
it's just epic to watch. Like the two shots and then that run out. And we talk so much about Dhoni nowadays that he has lost a lot of his aura and his power, but the presence of mind to take off that glove, and in preparation for that he knew what could have happened, so that made it easier for him if he needed to throw. Ultimately he did run up to the stumps itself, but I think just thinking ahead, that actually shows a lot of why we were successful under him for a while.
that's correct. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah. You want to take the next one? I think we were thinking about talk about the man who's now at the moment not the most popular one, but he's had his definitely had his glory days.
Yeah, I think, as you said, his glory days. So I think his glory days started from 2014 onwards up to 2018 probably. These were probably his best years as a batsman, and that's when the next two memories took place. So firstly, we have Kohli versus South Africa in the semi-final of the 2014 World Cup. So yeah, I remember this match where I think India needed to chase 175 odd, if I'm not mistaken. And Kohli, as always, the master of the chase, saw India through with a blistering knock of 80, 82 or something, not out. I don't remember the exact number, but it was Kohli basically taking India across the line. So that one was amazing. I think he absolutely dominated the South African attack. Dale Steyn. I think they had Imran Tahir as well in the lineup at that stage, but he dominated each one of them, and it was Kohli at his best. But he actually bettered that in 2016
Yeah,
versus Australia, and this match actually was very clinical because I remember at one stage, India needed 40 runs in 18 balls.
yeah,
And and even with Kohli at the crease, it had sort of started to get a little bit tricky, but there was still a lot of belief, amongst the Indians that they would cross the line. But there was also a little bit of fear amongst the Australians that as long as Kohli is there, India will win this. Like it
yeah,
was a given. It was a given that if Kohli is there until the last ball, India is not losing that match. They will win it, and that's exactly what happened. And I remember that over from James Faulkner. I'm talking about the third last over, right? He hit the first ball towards mid wicket. It looked like any other shot, but he somehow had enough power behind it. It went for four. The next ball, he kind of chipped one over mid off. Again, it looked innocuous, but it went for six.
yeah,
And in the end, India won that game, and it was an amazing chase once again by Kohli, and it really was, as I said at the top, during his best phase as a batsman. So these two knocks really stood out for me in that phase in the World Cup for Kohli.
yeah. And the 2016 tournament actually he was untouchable. He carried India through that whole tournament. Even in the semi-final, he played got about which we lost. He got about 80 again, and he took a wicket also with his first ball. So he could have literally done anything that tournament. Yeah, that even and that Australia match was a group match, but it was a knockout match in the sense that if India, whoever won would go through to the semis. So it was still pressure. And those last 3 overs, again, just like that Bangladesh match, I can watch those 3 overs again. Like it's the third last and the second last because the last over, I think there was just one ball that they played. But yeah, Faulkner and Coulter-Nile, I think, was bowling the.
I think so.
I think it was Coulter-Nile. Like it was an unbelievable hitting. It was not, and it was not slogging. He was just finding the gaps. It was just incredible. Like really privileged to watch that kind of batting. And the 2014 semi, yeah, I mean, it is against South Africa who do tend to choke in semi-finals and finals, but still again under pressure. And you mentioned Stain. They had Stain, they had Tahir, they had Wayne Parnell, who was pretty decent. They had Albie Morkel, so it was a good attack. And yeah, pretty much again carried India through to the final, which we should have actually won that tournament. But that's that's a matter for another day. Okay. Uh, so then we're down to the top two memories, and this was difficult for us to decide which one to put above the other. But ultimately, in second place, at least in our heads, we've gone with Yuvraj Singh's six sixes against England in the inaugural edition 2007 T20 World Cup. So, yeah, this was again pretty much a do or die match for India because we had lost to New Zealand in the first Super 8 match. So, if we had lost this, we would have been um, out of the tournament. And this was the match that gave us the kickstart for the rest because then we beat South Africa and then we won the semi against Australia and then we'll speak of the final in a bit. But yeah, the six sixes always is even today will be I think till cricket is played will be an amazing achievement. To do it against England when he just had that fight against Flintoff, and then to post Stuart Broad was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, I think. And at that time, Stuart Broad was still very, very young. He's very new. We see him today, but that could have actually destroyed his confidence in his career. And then, of course, you had Ravi Shastri and David Lloyd on commentary. And like Ravi Shastri is not the best commentator, but he knows how to get the atmosphere going. And David Lloyd, of course, with he's just a legendary commentator. And yeah, and what made it a bit sweeter was also that in the ODI tour of England just before that, Yuvraj had been hit for 5 sixes in a row by Dimitri Mascarenhas. So for him personally, also this was a really a moment of redemption. Actually, and he even went one better.
Yeah, it was an amazing, amazing, amazing moment, and it's just it was like pure theater, right? The
Yeah,
the whole atmosphere surrounding that is what made it even more special. First time T20 World Cup, the grounds are packed. The spectators are absolutely going crazy. They're so involved in the game. There's Ravi Shastri in the background, making it sound like this is the best place to be in the world.
yeah,
It probably was, huh? And then the players are sitting in the dugout. It was just the whole atmosphere of that particular moment. And then to add to that, there was a little bit of feisty, exchange between Yuvraj and Flintoff the over before. So it's just like the scene was perfectly set. And then this was also when Yuvraj was probably at the peak of his powers as well. Because not only did he hammer England in that game that we are referring to, 6 sixes, but he also took Australia apart in the next match.
yeah,
He scored 70 of 30. So those two matches were like, Yuvraj Singh at his best, brilliant timing, big sixes, unstoppable. And yeah, what a great spectacle it was at the time for all of us watching.
yeah. And then Yuvraj Singh, like you said, like he was crushed throughout the tournament and had a big role for us to play in our victory. And then he also was the man of the tournament 2011 World Cup. So he's actually been really good for us. I mean, he's been played a big part in our uh, global tournament victories. But there's one memory now left, which we did allude to a couple of times through all these other memories. But so I'll let you build it up, and then I can jump in.
Yeah. Okay. So nothing can be better than winning a World Cup, right? And at least for us,
It's
for
been
for
a
you
while.
and
Yeah,
yeah, for you and me, we weren't around when India won the 1983 World Cup. And in come 2007, we hadn't actually seen India lift a World Cup. We came close in 2003, but it ended up with real heartbreak actually. So when India won in 2007 the T20 World Cup, it was a big deal, right? And there were a couple of things again. Just this is all just theater, right? So just there were a couple of things going on in the background that made this a lot more special. Firstly, a young team who nobody gave a chance, right? There was no Sachin, Dravid, Ganguly. The stalwarts were not there. Uh, we had a new captain uh, in Dhoni, so again nobody gave him a chance. Um, we were playing Pakistan, right? So that it can't get any bigger than that. It was the second time we played Pakistan in that tournament. We beat them the first time, and then we beat them again. And the match itself, right? The match itself, India batted well in their first innings and all, and they kind of had Pakistan under control, or so it seemed, until Misbah-ul Haq came out and started swinging for the rafters and hitting sixes and fours, and he kind of pulled Pakistan back into the game. And at some stage, it seemed like they'll do it.
yeah,
At least that's what the last over seemed like. And of course, that's when Dhoni decided to give the ball to the current inspector of Haryana Police, if I understand correctly.
yes,
But of course, 14 years ago, Joginder Sharma was an Indian player, and he bowled that last over. He got hit for six of the first ball, or the second ball. I don't remember. And then Pakistan needed 6 runs to win at that stage. And then, of course, Misbah ul Haq decided to be cute, played a ramp. And I don't know what this is, but whoever I speak to says this, that when he played the ramp and the ball went up in the air,
Yeah,
for some reason everyone was like, "Oh goodness, this is going for six." Like it just felt as if it was going for six.
it
But
was that angle of the camera and the way they shot it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then when the camera panned closer and the ball started coming down, we realized that the ball's not even crossed the inner circle. And there was Srishant, Srishant under that ball. And he
Moving
pounced.
around and not even like he
Yeah,
almost dropped the catch.
exactly. And he pouched it, thankfully. And that was that. India had won the 27 T20 World Cup, the inaugural World Cup. So amazing memory. And again, this is all theater. Just these circumstances and events surrounding it is what made it even more special.
Yeah, just success for India in cricket after so long, at least global success. And it was after the ODI World Cup, which we had done disastrously in, which we had been out in the first round. And then, yes, this was like almost like, and I think at that age, we were also very young, like 18 years old. So we were almost like, yeah, this is the new India. And you felt that kind of thing that, okay, these guys are young like us. So now we're going to conquer the world and all that sort of rubbish you think about when you're that young. But uh, besides that, yeah, that whole match was actually batted okay, and then Rohit Sharma in the end, actually, I think he took us. He was also, I think, just 20 that time. People
Mm-mm.
forget his role in that final. It was quite. He got us to that 157, and then Irfan Pathan, RP Singh, and we had them at 70 for six. And yeah, Misbah actually should have won them that match. I think he, but it's just affected cricket so much because if we hadn't won, maybe there wouldn't have been an IPL, or at least not so soon. Then cricket has just been changed so much because of the IPL. So that one scoop shot or ram shot has just changed cricket forever. Honestly, that because he needed they needed a six or four. He could have, even if he didn't get a six of the ball, he could have. I think he would have got a ball to put away from Joginder Sharma, who's by the way deputy superintendent of
Yeah,
Haryana Police. I just
right,
double
right.
checked, but but yeah, I mean it's things happen for whatever reason, and it is what it is, and it led to one of the best moments for Indian cricket, and changed the cricket landscape forever. And don't want to forget Shoaib Malik's. Father, he was the captain of Pakistan, and his ridiculous comment in the post match that I want to thank every Muslim in the world who was supporting Pakistan, and Irfan Pathan was the man of the match, the tournament of,
Yeah,
and so that was just so ironic and so stupid
yeah,
again. But yeah, just a little
yeah.
that time there was a lot of this talk going on, so that was just something I wanted to point out. But yeah, that was just still I still watch that match very often. Like even those last three overs, Sohail Tanveer I think came in. He was hitting six after six. Then RP Singh got those last three four overs are really fun to watch, and I think there are videos on YouTube which have every ball. So we should check that out sometime.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Top draw stuff back then in 2007. So hopefully, hopefully we can match those moments that happened in 2007, but 14 years later in 2021.
Yeah, we get Arjun Tendulkar into the Indian squad to bowl the last over,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
he can.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But
Or Vinay Kumar can make a comeback. We need a Joginder Sharma type of bowler, otherwise we're not going to win. So we have to think of who is the ideal replacement for him.
yeah, yeah. You could think of some others who are there in the IPL these days. But, anyways, but that being said, 2021, hopefully the tournament is as great as the one in seven, or at least provide some memories for us to update this list the next time we visit memories of T20 for India.
Yeah, and we will do a preview of the tournament next week also. We're not yet done for this week. We just thought we'd do a fun quiz as well, just to wrap up. We haven't done a quiz in a while, so I'm just going to share my screen in a bit and we'll go to the Sporkle website, which is where we do all of our quizzes. They have the link to the quiz in the description as well, if you want to do it alongside us. So let me just. Okay, so let's go to the quiz, which is, can you name every Indian? It's a bit of a weird, I think the typo, but can you basically we need to name every Indian who has played in a T20 World Cup? A bit of a clue here with all the players you can see, and we've named a lot of them anyway. So let's get started. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So let's start with Dhoni.
Kohli, Kohli,
You got
Sehwag,
for the three things, which
yeah,
helps.
Sehwag,
Then
Gambhir, Irfan Pathan.
you get two Pathans,
You get two
uh,
Pathan. Uh,
Raina.
Raina, uh, Yuvraj. Okay, we did Yuvraj. Thinking of some bowl. So Rohit Sharma. There
Nice.
are a lot of Sharmas there.
Zahir Khan played, I think, in one of them
Zahir
also.
Khan, yeah, Zahir Khan, Harbhajan. Okay, we did Singh, Ashwin,
Jadeja.
Jadeja, uh, Ashwin,
Bumrah has played last World Cup. Hardik
Pandya,
Pandya played.
uh,
Srisanth, since we mentioned him.
Srishant. Uh, who else? Who else?
Did Dinesh Karthik play? I think Uthappa played.
Mustafa, they all were there in 2007.
Yeah.
Um,
Vinay
then
Kumar was there, I think.
uh,
Oh, there, Kumar gives us
three.
Bhuvaneshwar, Veen, and Vinay.
Yeah. Okay. Chehel. I think he's played. No,
Was he there last time? I don't think so.
don't think so. No. What about Pragyan Ojha?
Yeah. We have the years also, so we that should also try to.
Mm.
So someone who played only in 2016. Dhawan, right? Of course. I mean, I think he was. Did Vijay play also for
Yeah,
T20?
Vijay played in 2009 or 10. Yeah, 10.
What has been so almost there, just nine to go.
Yeah.
But this is where it
This
starts
is where
getting
it
a
gets
bit.
tricky, right? Okay. So, 10 to
2014 and 2016. Who's that? Who's Rahane, right?
yeah, Rahane did play in
He
14.
used to play T20s at one point, and now he
Yeah.
doesn't even play. Shouldn't even play tests. Uh,
Okay, so now we are down 10 to 16 and
Rahul.
KL Rahul. I
Oh,
don't
he's not
think he
played.
was there.
Wow.
No, it's his first one. This is going to be his first one. Okay, trying to think of some bowlers, some spin bowlers. We got Ashwin Jadeja,
Oja Harbhajan.
Pooja Harbhajan. Um,
I started thinking of some players who have performed well in the IPL also. Maybe they can get some. Who's the 2007? 2007 squad was Sehwag, Gambhir, Dhoni, Yuvraj, Rohit, Pathan, RP Singh, Srisanth, Joginder Sharma, and who else was there?
RP Singh, but we got him. Irfan Pathan, Yusuf Pathan. Um,
Did Stuart Binney ever play? No. I
no.
think Agarkar played. That he was still one of his last tournaments. Yeah,
Oh, really? It was Agarkar. You're right. Okay, interesting. I didn't know he was a part of that World Cup.
I think he played only one or two matches, but and that was his. I think after that he was. That was the end of his international career.
Okay. Okay, so then there's someone from 10 to 16, which is quite a long time.
Yeah.
And then 12 to 12. Oh, this is tougher than I thought.
Who was
Um,
in our? Oh, did Piyush Chawla ever play? I'm sure he managed to squeeze his way in. There you go.
like he always exactly another spinner who we missed. What about Raidu? Was he in any of the squads? No. Raidu. Um, mm,
Abhishek Nair.
I guess all these guys are some. the guys who were probably on the fringes, meaning they didn't play too many of the actual matches in the tournament.
Any keepers? Dhoni, or did Parthiv Patel ever play?
Parthiv Patel, yeah.
Munaf Patel also, I thought, but no.
No. I'm trying to think of some bowlers. So, who were our bowlers in 2012?
Zaid Khan, Praveen Kumar, Goni, right? Goni.
Manpreet Goni, Mohit Sharma, but okay,
He's
we
there.
already got it.
Oh,
Uh,
Shami played, right?
Shami, yes, Shami would have played. Yeah, okay, Shami. Um,
Shami, Bhuvaneshwar, Bumrah, Umesh Yadav, maybe. Oh, no.
no. Mm, did we have any all rounders? Mm,
Yeah, this is pretty tough, huh? I didn't expect this to be.
yeah,
Who made their debut in 2016? I mean, who played for the first time in 2016? It is someone recent. And this 2010 to
What
16, I
about
want to.
what about Saha? Was he ever there as a keeper? Thank God.
Yeah,
What about Balaji? Was Balaji ever there? No, but too late.
yes,
Are you serious?
2012. Yeah,
Balaji in 2012.
I think he played a bit of T20, yeah, in between.
Okay.
This 2010 to 16 thing is really bugging because this is someone who's probably played a lot for India in that time.
What about? I'm just trying to think about some IPL.
We took Kohli, right? Yeah, that would have been a disaster. Yeah.
What about Saurabh Tiwari or Manoj Tiwari? No. Okay. Um, we said Raidu already. We checked Raidu.
Yeah, we checked Raidu.
Okay.
Oh, 2015. Yuvraj Singh, Dhoni. Who was our openers in the last T20 World Cup? It was Dhawan and who? It wasn't Vijay. So who was the other opener?
Last World Cup, Dhawan and Rohit Sharma.
Oh yeah, of course. Dhawan, Rohit, Dhoni, Kohli. Yuvraj wasn't there, so we had Pandya, but we had a couple of batsmen in between. Did Manish Pandey ever play? There you go.
Right. It is Mani. We got Manish Pandey. Yeah.
Yeah, right
Okay.
here.
I'm trying to think of bowlers. Try Dinda because there was a time when he was built up to
Yeah,
play.
there you go.
Okay, that
Varun
was
Aaron?
Varun Aaron. Yeah.
No. So we have just two left.
So it's 14 and 10 to
It's
16.
10 to
10 to
16.
16 will be quite a like a reasonably experienced player.
Unless this person just kept getting picked and never played, which I really doubt.
That's Piyush Chawla. We've done.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Uh, 10 to 16.
Like he could have also just played in 10 and 16 also. So
Yeah.
this doesn't mean that, but still, someone who's been in the reckoning for a while. And
And then 14 to 14.
that guy just played one tournament. So probably just, like you said, a fringe
Amit
player.
Mishra. Amit Mishra.
That's the
He was there
14th.
at 14. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now we, oh, wow.
We've got 10 to 16.
We have 1 minute left, one and a bit.
Okay. So 2010 to 16.
Let's go franchise by franchise, maybe. Maybe CSK players, uh, RCB players. Gosh, come on.
Tried Lakshmi Ratan Shukla. I don't know why I'm
No,
saying
no, I don't
tried.
think.
No. It was just like a random guess. We did try Umesh Yadav, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Huh. Who is this, man? We're gonna lose it. There's only 27 seconds left. Damn it.
Trying to think who else played in 2010.
Yeah, or just anyone who could have been. We got Yusuf Pathan's.
Yeah.
Okay, 9876. We're gonna. I guess we'll just wait for the clock to go down to zero.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Okay then.
that is not how I thought this
Okay
quiz
then.
would end.
Okay, this we should have got because yeah, it's not just any player, right?
Yeah, it's been around since 2001. Damn
Okay.
it.
It's Nehra Ji, as they say.
Nehra Ji had the last laugh as always.
As always.
Oh
Okay.
man, that was a disaster.
That was a good
We got
quiz.
Ashok Dinda and we didn't get Ashish Nehra.
Ashish Nehra. Exactly. Exactly.
And we were also thinking of bowlers all the time. And
Yeah.
Nehra doesn't just, because to me, he's just this player who played 2003 for that Ganguly team. And after that, he never really played. You don't
Yeah.
remember his T20.
Don't remember him. Yes,
Right.
exactly. Okay.
Oh,
Anyway,
well,
this is
even though
good.
he was in 2011 World Cup also, but still, it's
Yeah.
we did well. We almost got it. And if you lose out to Nehra, there's no shame in losing out
There's
to
no
him.
shame. I mean,
So,
exactly. He's gonna have the last laugh anyways, you said.
well, that was fun. Quiz
Yeah.
after a while. But thanks for watching, everyone. And please continue to like, share, subscribe. And we will see you next week.
Yep. Thanks for watching.